Hello, everyone. This is Eric from Etiquette, and yeah, it's time for another live stream. Thought I'd show this to you. So right now, I'm in South Korea. I live in Daegu, which has been hit by the coronavirus, as you all know. Feel free to say hello if you're here. Say hello. Is the sound working? Is the visuals okay? Yeah. So everybody in Korea, if you go outside, is wearing a mask, either one of these temporary ones, or I've also got another one that you can wash and reuse. Yeah, say hello when you're here, and I'll start today's live stream. Yeah, it's you might have seen a lot of videos about it, people talking about the coronavirus, and especially here in Daegu. Um, there was a lady that got the virus, and then she went to church. And at church, she basically infected everyone. So the numbers have just exploded in Daegu itself. And that's had many repercussions. There were so many things that happened because of that. So the city is basically on lockdown with nobody going outside, everybody staying at home, a lot of the restaurants and businesses being closed. You can still go and do shopping and do whatever you want to. It's not like you're stopped from doing anything, but people are just, putting themselves under quarantine so that they don't catch the virus. Yeah, it's the virus itself. I guess it is scary, with so many in China being infected, and now it's spreading to other places too. Hey guys, say hello if you want to. I'll start today's stream now. I'm just talking about the coronavirus that's here in my city. So a church, a lot of people got infected at the church. So yeah, the way I feel about it is everybody's wearing a mask, but I think that's not really going to save you. So um, I'm basically, if you go outside, you wear a mask as a courtesy, so that when people see you, it's like you don't want to. If you had some kind of virus, you don't want to spread it to them, so they don't have to be worried if you don't have one. So yeah, everybody's wearing a mask when you go outside. Everybody's told to stay inside, not to go to public gatherings. Hopefully, I don't know. I think it's going to climb a little bit more, because the problem with this virus is that it's got, that latency period of 2 weeks. So somebody might be sick, but they can still spread the virus. So that's what's scary. It might actually pick up before it dies down. We'll have to see. But fortunately, there is a bright side. It's got a low mortality rate. I think it only affects the elderly or people with previous health issues. So I think it's got a 2 to 5% mortality rate. Well, it's difficult to actually establish the mortality rate, but yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah. Actually, today we've got a very interesting video. I've got a lot of things I want to talk about. Hey guys, you can put in your name. You can just say hello. Yeah, so this week, actually, this virus has affected me too, because I told you that I've been very busy. Oh, by the way, if you can hear me, just say in the chat that you can hear me. I'm not sure if it's working. Sometimes it's off. But these last couple of weeks, I've been working on a presentation. There's a big company that they do online seminars, and they also do live seminars, and they asked me to do a presentation on phonics, how help teachers how to teach phonics, and some tips and some tricks, and also how to use the books. So they asked me to do this presentation at a seminar, which is a big opportunity. So I've been working on the presentation, the speech, everything, just gathering all the materials and getting ready for it. And I shot an example to show them what to do. But a couple of days ago, they let me know, because of this coronavirus in Daegu, they can't do it with me yet. So I'll have to wait till things cool down and things calm down before I can do. Hi, Leonardo. How are you today? It's working? Excellent. Yeah, today I'm going to talk about a few things. I feel in my other videos, I kind of, talk about different topics and it's kind of random. So if you have a question, just put it in the comments and I'll answer it. But I think in between, I'll try and answer these 5 questions. These 5 questions have been asked too. Yeah, you're doing well. Where are you from, Leonardo? Yeah, like I said, I'm here in South Korea and everybody is a bit nervous about the virus, but I believe things will be okay. Just have to stay safe and you know, wash your hands, not go to crowded places. I think everything will be okay. Yeah, it's scary. I think years ago I heard that from some experts that a virus like this could easily come and it can have a devastating effect, and so we're seeing it with this virus. From Brazil, right? Oh well, I've got a few friends in Brazil. It's carnival time now. It looks amazing. One of my friends, you guys have those block parties. Shabir, nice. Hi, how are you doing? Are you guys teachers too? What and if so, what do you teach? Yeah, so in Brazil, it's carnival where there are lots of massive street parties. My friend was showing a lot of videos. And actually, I think I'd like to go and visit, if possible, next year for Carnival. That might be really cool. Go to Brazil. So I think let me get started. If you have any questions, if you want to share anything, guys, feel free, and then we'll talk about it. I am going to start talking about these 5 questions that they asked. Yeah. Did you have a good Carnival? It looks so cool. Okay, let me get started. Oh, sorry, guys, it's really hot. I'm just gonna take off my trusty sweater. Wow. So yeah, I think the weather's starting to change. It's winter here in Korea, and but I think spring is on its way. Okay, so first, I'm going to get started with these questions. If you have a question, put it in there, but I'm going to try and follow this. So I'll finish a question first, and then we'll carry on. Okay, so the first question came from Julie. And she asked, Eric, how do we motivate students to increase their exposure? So how do we get students to actually go out and practice more English and learn more, especially on their own? So you want to work on the students' motivation. Obviously, when you do your lessons and you try and get them excited about your topic, you should find things that they can connect to their own lives, find things that they like and connect this to them somehow, make it important to them, because if they learn your subject, in our case, English, if they learn your subject, then they can feel better to do it. And then, so how do you motivate your students? So connections, also, tell them they need to find intrinsic motivation. So you got to tell them, listen, if you learn this, it will have it will give you a great opportunity for the future, and it will improve you as a person. And also by telling them how they can improve, you're giving them a sense of control, how they can do things. I think another thing you can do is you can promote positive competition, right? So if a student does well, you're like, wow, you did amazingly well. Here's a star. And you want to get the students to be a little bit more competitive. Allow a lot of group projects so that, okay, wait, sorry. So group projects will get them motivated to start harder. But the question here is how to increase their exposure. So you want the students to go out and experience on their own. So you want them to read books, and you want them to go out and watch movies and study on their own. So you're going to have to give them not homework, but start giving them assignments, saying, okay, guys, I want you to do a speech about your favorite drama that you're watching. I want you to do a report on your favorite Marvel character, right? So tell the students, give them things that they can go and do outside of class, right? To make it excited. Okay, Shabir, you said I'm a language teacher and just 2 months in service. Nice. And found it interesting. Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, Shabir, I'm working right now. I'm making a lot of activity videos. What level do you teach? Are you just teaching younger students? because I'm making a lot of activity videos, but I'm also working on a lot of videos to help teachers with problems they might have in situations. So I'm always interested to hear what problems you might have, right? So in your classroom, you've only been there 2 months. What are some things that you might be struggling with? Yeah, so I think that's very interesting. I'm just making it like this, maybe. Yeah, what are some things that you struggle with, Shabir? I'm very interested to know. Okay, so that was a question from Julie, and I said how to increase students to the exposure. Yeah, just motivate them and get them to do things outside of class, and try and tell them what positives are in the future if they do this, right? Give them clear goals and clear expectations. Now, the second question is how to increase student talk time. Okay, Urdu teacher, but I can get English. I like your speech. Okay, thank you. Actually, yeah, I think it's because I've been teaching students for a long time, so I hope my pronunciation is okay. I still have a lot of mistakes that I make, especially I struggle with my R's that I roll and saying the similar words all the time. Well, beating helps. Yeah, I think when I was growing up, we had very strict teachers beating us. But I do want you to try and get them very excited for the language too. But you know what? That is why you are watching these videos, to get ideas and to become a better teacher. And I respect that. I really respect that. So the next question is from Migam. She's asked some questions before. She's actually also here in Korea with me in Jinju. And she asked how to make students talk more than the teacher. And one of the problems is, as a teacher, is especially if we're new, we want to control the classroom by speaking all the time, just by talking, 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 talking. And the students are there listening to me. Yeah, the students are listening to you. Excellent. Yeah. Well, now you should use that time to motivate them and to get the best out of them. So how can you get the students to participate more in class? That's what she's saying. And some ideas is, especially obviously group work and pair work, a great idea is think, pair, share. If you have students in class, sometimes they're shy to talk, or they might feel that they're not good enough. You can use think, pair, share, where you say, okay, guys, think about this with your friend, talk about it, and then we want you to share back to the class. Okay. And you want to get the students to do self-reflection. You got to tell them, guys, what do you want to do better in class? You want to be a better speaker, right? How can you become a better speaker? Only by practicing. I've got a friend who's got this saying. He tells the students, guys, if you don't talk, you don't make mistakes, and if you don't make mistakes, I can't help you. So you've got to talk more, and we got to encourage our students to speak more. You can also make it quantitative, where you can say every person in class has to at least ask 2 questions or answer 2 things. You've got something you can do at the end of class called an exit ticket. So at the end of class, what I like to do sometimes, I go through the class if I've got some time left, and I ask each student a question that they have to answer. And when they come into your class, you should have that expectation. They should know they're going to talk. You should have that expectation. If you come to my classroom, you're going to want to talk and share with the other students, because I don't allow shy students in my class, and I want everyone to participate. And it's something I'm very vocal on. I want my students to talk more. Migam, yeah, you can just find out why they're not talking. So especially group projects that they have to share back, and yeah, get them to think about it. They should be talking more frequently and asking more questions. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, if you have any topics, Shabir or Leonardo, just put it in the comments. Yeah, so this week, because of the virus, I'm probably just going to stay home. I'm working on a few videos. Wednesday, I will release a video with activities for adults. And then I've also got, well, adults or advanced students. And then I've got some on how to control the classroom, how to get their attention. and maybe I'll do one with about colleagues and stuff too. Guys, if you're new, say hello so I know who's here. Okay, next. The next question. Sorry, Migam, I don't think I did a great job answering that question, but I'll think about it more. Okay, the next one. Practical English. Now, this question comes from Persistence. The name on YouTube is Persistence, and he or she says, Eric, why is practical English different from English examples in grammar books? Maths lover, hi, how you doing? I'm not from the USA. I'm actually from South Africa. I don't know what my accent is. I think my accent changed a little bit. So I'm South African with a British accent, but some American in there too. Where are you from, Maths? I'm glad that you love maths. I think maths is underappreciated. We need more people studying maths, by the way. I really think so. I wish I studied maths in high school, and yeah, I think it's very important. I wasn't that good, but at least I completed it. Fantastic. We're in the US. Oh, okay. So practical English. So if you've got it's a big problem with English handbooks and textbooks is that a lot of the English in these textbooks are so old and it's so outdated. Nobody uses it anymore. And there are a few reasons for it. The first reason could be that the books are just very old. They were written a long time ago. But I don't think that's a problem. I think that the mentality, if you are a writer or if you are a researcher, Texas, nice. I love Texas, the Lone Star State. Man, I think in the next couple of years, I'd love to go to Texas. I heard they've got great food there. Obviously, I'll travel for food. Are you close to Austin? Yeah, no. And what is so? Are you a maths teacher? Oh, what do you do, maths? Okay, so a lot of these books are outdated, and I think it's not just because they're old, but the mentality of the researchers and the writers is that it should be a specific way. You have to write it in this old way of speaking and use vocabulary that is outdated, and that's a big problem. I've seen it even with other when I studied Korean. I would get these Korean books where they use Korean that nobody uses. So yeah, I think my answer to this persistence, why practical English, you're going to want to look to real life examples, movies that came out, TV shows. You can look at some magazines or some cartoons, things that are real to the students. And also the best way is by talking to other people, right? To find real people to work with, real conversations that you can have, because a lot of these textbooks, they're just too outdated. If you have time, yeah, I've always thought about fixing some of them, but yeah, a lot of these we need to use more practical English when we teach it. Yeah, maths. So you're a maths teacher? Okay. Now I'm going a little bit faster now. Let me see. Was there anything else I had? There was something I wanted to say. Student talk time. Oh yeah, about student talk time. I'm going to continue a little bit with that. How to increase student talk time. AB de Villiers, Ashlim Allah, yeah, and Dale Stein. Yeah, man, Shabir, I love it. Yeah. It was so sad that AB didn't play in the Cricket World Cup last 2 years ago? And last year. AB didn't play. But South Africa were horrible. Hi Liam, how you doing? Where are you from? So I was talking about how to increase students' talk time. Hi Suta, how are you today? Are you having a good Sunday? Make topics easy for your students. If you give them simple topics, it will be good. Liam, yeah, what up? And Suta, good to see you. Where are you guys from? Good. How do I improve English? By working at it, by practicing with friends, by studying, by going online, there are lots of videos to watch. But the best way you can improve is just by trying to use it as much as possible. Hi, India. Yeah, we were just talking about cricket, Shabir and I. I was saying, yeah, I'm South African, so I'm a bit sad that AB de Villiers didn't play. But yeah, because I'm in South Korea, I don't watch that much cricket except for the World Cup, you know. But I know I think we're playing, who are we playing? England? New Zealand? One of them. Okay. And with your students, remember to be patient if you've got students. Yeah, well, you've got the internet, Liam. So yeah, you should definitely use it as much as possible. And yeah, find people online with topics that you are interested in and talk about it. Yeah, Suta, what do you guys do, by the way? Liam, Suta, what's your jobs? Okay, so as teachers, we should be more patient. Remember to smile and give students cues and ideas. If they get stressed, wait at least 7 seconds. So if you ask them a question, give them more time and then let them say. Assistant professor. Okay, same. Suta. Nice. And what subject do you teach? Okay. So let's see. Where am I now? Okay, I've got 2 questions left that I'll answer. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about, so we've got a professor and a student. Liam, what do you study? Before, yeah, let's quickly go to these last 2 questions. Nazar, you made it. Hi, Nazar. How are you doing? Total quality management. Wow, that sounds interesting. So it has to do with products that you have to make sure that it's a good quality. What kind of products is it for? Oh, it's what you teach. Wow, so interesting. Nazar, how you doing? How was your week? I'm in Korea and there's a big virus, so I'm just going to stay at home this week. I'm going to do a lot of work, so I'll put out some good videos for you guys. Yeah, I should take a lesson. Oh, Nazar, I'm good, except it's very scary in Korea right now, except my city. It's a, I have to stay inside. Physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Wow, Liam, I bet you're super smart. And Suta, yeah, I think I'd like to take a lesson just to see what it's all about. If you have some interesting websites that I can check out, I'd love to do it. Okay, guys, I'm quickly going to get into the second last question. It is from our friend Rabia, who asked the question last week. And she asks, how do you build an effective reward system? Rabia, I'm just getting to your question. Your timing is perfect. Okay, so you asked, how do you build an effective reward system? How can we get the students excited and, actually reward them for their good behavior or for working hard in class? Because, you can punish students, but a way better way is a positive way of rewarding them for appropriate behavior, and for if they're working very hard, it will improve their results, right? So you want to build an effective one. I'm going to give you 2 pieces of advice. The first one is, recently I've been looking, there's a website called Class Dojo. So Class Dojo. And it's got an online place where you can actually give your students points. And that's a very useful tool for sharing it with parents too. So I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, you want something visual in your class. I think having a board or something where they get stickers, or if students have their own individual paper where they get a stamp or something like that, is very good. But I think the easiest way to do it, you want to reward the students. Why not let them pick their rewards? Ask the students to come up with a reward system. So say, okay, guys, I'm going to put you into groups of 4. I want you to sit together. I want you to think, how can we get the best out of you? How can we reward you? And what can you receive? So maybe in the class, get the students to think of ideas. What do they want? Because then you are giving them power, to think about it. So when you start class, you say, okay, guys, I want you to think of a reward system. What are some rewards that you want? And you can say it could be stuff like watching a movie or playing a game, or, they could, like you said, go to the library. Sure. Yeah, if you, Suta, if you need anything you want to talk about, send my email. Let me quickly write down my email. I'll quickly put it in here. Guys, if you want to talk or do anything, you can just send me an email and talk about it. Yeah, they might, but you know what, NASA, sometimes just a piece of candy that they can get makes a big difference. So if you get like a lollipop or something, if I spend $10 on a big bag of candy, but that candy actually makes a couple of weeks better, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. If we give them choice, okay, so you give them a choice. You give them, yeah, you can give them choices. You can say, okay, guys, what about this? I think that might be better. But yeah, it depends. Just telling the students, okay, you can get them excited about the reward system. I think it's definitely something you can do. Um, yeah. So yeah, have something visual for them, and make sure that it's something that they want to get. Also, just watch out. I've done it in my own schools. We've also done things like that. How should you measure improvement? Measure improvement. Now, this is a difficult thing, especially with ESL, because with English, you slowly learn and pick things up. It's almost like water dripping into a bucket. You don't realize that you're improving your English. So the best thing to do to measure the students. Liam, I'm an English teacher here in South Korea. So Rabia, here's what you want to do. I think you need to get the students to understand that they've improved. So what I would say, and you get different types of assessment. You get your formative assessments and your summative assessments. So summative assessments are your tests and quizzes, and formative assessments are other ways to get input from the students and to get their performance and to give feedback. I would suggest getting some kind of portfolio. If you have some kind of portfolio or some way where you can say, okay, guys, here is your curriculum. Every week we're going to study this, and make sure that they understand at the end of the class what they've learned. I do it in all my classes. At the end of class, I say, okay, guys, you learned this. And then halfway through my semester, I tell my students again, guys, look at all these things that you have learned. And the students go, oh, yeah, you know what? I learned how to say this. I learned how to ask questions. I learned how to, do this grammar. You find out what they have. Now, you said that you want to rate this kids on a scale from 1 to 10 on 6 different things: grammar, fluency, pronunciation, vocabulary, class participation, confidence. Here's the thing. One piece of advice that I would give you, Rabia. Make it as simple as possible for yourself. I've seen many teachers do this. They make it too complicated. They try too many things. And you've got a couple of hundred students. You've got, I think, 100, 200 students. If you have to do those check marks for every single student, your whole weekend is just going to be doing those things. So I would say make it even simpler. Just if you need to do something like that, have maybe three or 5 maximum. Just make it easier for yourself. Set a system where you can quickly check, or where you can quickly check them. Don't make it too complicated. I would say that's the most important thing. Make sure that you can do it. And also, if you can check those things in class, try to put a system in place where you don't have to work a lot. Yeah, Liam, what do you want to say? And problem solving. Yeah, NASA, actually, that's one of the big things I do want to talk about: project-based learning and problem solving. Yeah, you have to prepare that scale for management. Yeah, Yeah, I think those 6 criteria are fine. Grammar, fluency, pronunciation, vocabulary. Um, yeah, I think there are some that you could change to make easier. Class participation you need to have because you need some way for them to do that in there. Vocabulary fluency is good. Grammar, pronunciation, confidence. Yeah, you can also say, yeah, just participation. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Liam, don't forget your mother tongue. Just use English as much as possible, but you don't have to forget your mother tongue. Okay, Rabia, 500 students, that's a lot. So whatever you do, if it's trying to get these rewards ready, or if you're trying to, if you have to make that scale for them, try and make it as simple as possible. That's all I can say. The most important, what is it again? We do the same thing. It's in my files. Mm, I want to say class participation, but it's not. I would say fluency is important because that's how much they speak up in, how they feel that they're getting better. I would say. Hi, Mom. I don't know. I'm a bit confused. I've got so many things going on in my head, so I'm trying to get them out. Yeah, Rabia, I would say fluency is the most important. Class participation, that's also a good one where you can actually talk with the students. What I would do is check out that Class Dojo also has a few interesting ones to use. I'll think about it a little bit more, but yeah, I think just make it simple. If you can bring it down to 5, that would be simpler. But yeah, just try with that measure improvement to do it like this. Naza, back to your other question about project-based learning, and problem solving. These are 2 things I really want to talk about. How about next week for the live stream? I'm just going to focus on project-based learning and problem solving. Is that okay? Because I'll do a live stream on it and I'll do proper research because I still want to make some videos in the future too. Rabia, man, I feel like I'm leaving some things that I want to say, but I can't remember. Yeah. So back to your original question, you want to first get the students where they are originally, how they're doing, and then you want them to notice they should be in control and know what they're being rated on. So make sure they know exactly what you've got. Yeah, once again, last week I was all over the place with my explanations for you, and now today I'm struggling towards the end. Rabia, I'll think about it some more. If I remember some, I'll bring it in and put it in next week's video because yeah, I feel like I can do better. And Naza, yeah, I'll do that for it. Liam, yeah, I do have a British accent, but because I've been in Korea a while, I've got a bit of American with me. Yeah, guys, any other questions that you would like to talk about? Anything interesting happening in your week? For me, I'm basically, because of the virus, I have to stay in Korea and go out. When I go outside, I have to go out like this. Yeah, it's a little bit scary because a lot of the Koreans are. I'm in South Korea right now, actually in just outside one of the cities, Daegu, and there are many people affected by the virus because there's one lady that got the virus. You know that virus from China, and she came to Daegu and she went to church. She went to church 4 times, and she infected a couple of hundred people in there. So she was a super spreader of the virus. And now a lot of places are under lockdown and quarantine. So it's kind of difficult. Yeah, I will, Suta. Okay, so basically today I tried to answer some of these points. I feel like I could have done a better job. Rabia, your 2 questions I think are very important. I'll give them some more thought. Check out the website Class Dojo. It's like Facebook for your students and parents, where if you want to post, you can give them ratings, and you can give them ratings, and you can also show pictures and things about it. Oh yeah, what I wanted to say, Rabia, portfolios. If you can get this is a little bit tricky from the start, but if you can get each student with a portfolio where they can put in their work and save it, it's actually a physical representation of all the work they've done, and they can feel like they've learned. You want to do IELTS? Yeah, I think IELTS is very good, Liam. You should look into that. Naza, how do I plan my lessons? What I do is I'm actually doing lesson planning next week because I've been busy with my presentation that I was doing for that company. I'm doing my lesson planning next week. Okay, I start with a big move. Yeah, Liam, you should try and do that if you can. So I look at the curriculum. I look at everything I want the students to understand, and then we have a textbook that we have to work through. I look at each textbook's lesson. I see what I can use, what grammar points. Then I see what grammar points I need to do, what kind of speaking activity I can do, what kind of reading. I try and think about what are all the skills I can put in each lesson, to actually get the best out of my students. Then when I start forming these ideas for everything I want to test. Then I start planning the lesson. How can I find out what is the vocabulary I want to do, what is some of the main activities I want to do, how can I check the students' understanding at the end, how can I best get it out of the students. And usually I think, okay, so once I've got what I want the students to learn in that lesson, the goals and the criteria that they have to be able to meet. Once I know what I want them to study, the grammar and the skills, then I think, how can I best make it work? And I've usually in my lesson planning, I've got 5 parts to my lesson. The warm up first, I have some kind of game or some kind of activity that triggers some of those grammar or the vocabulary, or some fun game that they can do that brings it out. Student attention. Suta, actually this week I'm shooting 2 videos on student attention. Yeah. So basically, if mine is also about speaking, but a lot of the students, if you put them in pairs and they have to speak, it helps them sometime to just take a paper and write down some words. Maybe not sentences, because if they write down sentences, they want to, just read it. But tell them to write down some, they can do like a chart, write down some vocabulary or words or ideas. Share. You can do some kind of chart where they just write down some ideas, and that chart or that paper, or after they're speaking, you can say, what are some good sentences that you learned? What are some good words? Quickly write them down. Take that paper, put it into the thing like that. Don't let, they can write down the dialogue, but that's very boring and time consuming. I wouldn't do that. I'd rather do an activity where they write down, some of the ideas and the words. Suta, am I saying it wrong? Suta? How do I pronounce it? Okay, Suta. So student Suda. Okay, is that better? Suda. Okay, Suda. Actually, I'm making 2 videos on student attention, how to keep students' attention in class, and also how to get the students' attention if they're busy talking or something. I'm going to make 2 videos on that. So yeah, I'm not going to say too much about it now, but I've got lots of ideas I'm going to share in there. Maybe, yeah, a lot of ideas, if that's okay with you. Okay, so Naza, back to the plan. So basically, I've got the things I want them to learn. My warm-up, I get them to elicit and think of all the ideas they have. Then we go into the teaching phase, where I actually teach them and I ask them questions, and I make sure they understand what I'm trying to teach. I can tell them a story. I can, write on the board. I can teach them the grammar. Then we get to the main part, the meat, where they have to take this knowledge and they have to do some kind of activity. It could be a problem. It could be problem solving. It could be a group-based activity. It could be with a team member. They have to do something with this information. When they do that, that's a great time to check their understanding. You can just walk around and check them, or you can actually give them a grade if you want to. Rabia, try and put it. A good app, I think Hello Talk is a good one if you want to talk to other people. Liam, if you want to chat to other people, I think Hello Talk is a good one. Yeah, there are a few English speaking. I think you need more to talk to people too, right? Yeah, there are lots of good apps. I think Hello Talk's one. I'm sure there are some more too. Sorry, Liam, I can't think of some great apps now. Duolingo is another one. Video call that you can video call. Yeah, I think try Duolingo and Hello Talk. Where was I? Okay, so the third one is the Meet, where they actually talk about these. They use it for a project or something. And then the fourth one is they actually present it to the class. I get some of them to present it and talk about their experience, and they can do a writing task. This is where they reflect. The students should reflect. You can ask them, okay, so what did you learn today? They can have some kind of writing activity where they reflect and say, what did they learn? This is a great way for them to actually monitor and process how well they're doing in class. And then finally, the final activity should be a nice way to finish it off with some energy, where you make sure to check that the students practice all the information again. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, guys. So if I make my lesson plan, first I find out what I want the students to learn, what the grammar will be, the speaking or the writing, the listening. What do I want them to learn and practice within this lesson? Then I break it down. First, I've got my introduction, the warm-up. Then I teach them. Then they do a big project. Then they can quickly reflect and do some kind of writing activity on it. And then finally do some kind of fun, energetic review game where the students can practice doing it again. Liam, my students are in Korea. Most of them are Korean, but I do have some foreign students. The problem is because of the virus. The university is going to open 2 weeks later. So class only starts later for me. So guys, I'm just going to be here at home working on some good videos. Criteria for themselves. So maybe I choose the 6. So reduce them to 3. So maybe something like grammar. So you asked fluency, class participation. Oh man, there's one that I totally forget. Liam, none of my students are from there because most of the students here are mostly foreign students, Korean, and then some Chinese or Vietnamese students. Man, Rabia, why can't I think about this now? Class participation is important, fluency, and then something related with their work, I think, how much work they're doing in class, because class participation is how do they do things in class. You can do something like grammar or class works, something that you can grade their work on. It should be simple or easy to grade. Let me think about this a little bit more. Now that I understand what you want, I feel like I just need to go and look at my own work again and find some examples to share them. Naza, like I said, today I feel a little bit confused, but you always ask such good questions. So next week we're going to talk about problem-based learning and questions. Rabia, I'm going to think about yours. Maybe in the comment section, I'll leave you a message there. I don't have your email, so I can't send it to you, but I'll leave you a message in the comment section, or maybe I will take a quick video and share it with you. Liam, continue studying, try some of the apps. If you can find friends to practice with, that's even better. Like in your hometown, if you can find one friend and you can say, okay, let's meet up once a week and we can practice together. Let's talk about these topics. That will also be very good. Sudha, thank you for coming in. It's so nice that you're here. If you have any questions, you can put it in. Student attention, remember, I'll put out the videos not this week, but maybe next week. I'm going to shoot them this week. And who else did we have? Mom, I think you're probably going, and everybody else. Guys, thank you so much for coming in and talking. I'll just be here. I'll wait out this virus and I'll try and make some good content for you guys. And if you have any questions or anything you want to share, you can just put it in the community page. I'll see it. Everyone, I think that's it. I've been rambling about these 5 questions. I hope you have a You have a good Sunday. And yeah, thank you so much for coming in and saying hello, even if you're just listening to me rambling. Okay. Everyone, are you good? Gonna say goodbye? Yeah, Robbie, there's always something going on. We can never be 100% on focused. So, yeah, maybe there's something like that happening. Yeah, but thank you for your questions. It makes me think, even though I'm a bit slow. Yeah, Sudha, I am an assistant professor here in Korea. Yeah, but I'm going to have to do a better job at teaching and talking about these things. Yeah, Rabia, have a productive week, and maybe I'll make a video for you, just a quick one with my phone, and put it out to talk about it. Sudha, have a good week. Naza, your star. Liam, good luck with your studies, work with people, and you'll improve. Everyone, have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.